Welcome to my channel, everyone. Please comment on my videos. We YouTubers really rely on you guys telling us what you like and what you don't like, and I really hope you like this tutorial. Welcome everyone. I'm making a fall DollarTree Deco mesh wreath. I've already attached half the Deco mesh, so you don't have to sit through all of that. I'm doing a ruffle pattern. I'm using 3 different Deco meshes. I'm using orange, this really pretty green, and a striped pattern. I'm grouping the ruffles together by 3, and then each section of the wreath form is getting 2 or 3 of the groupings. I'm using this adorable metal sign. It actually had a stake on it. I have another one here I'll show you. It was very easy to take off. I didn't have to use pliers or anything. I just had to bend it a couple of times and it broke right off. Since the sign is metal, I need to use a better glue. I'm using this Omni stick. You can use the E6000, and I'm also using a little bit of hot glue just to keep it in place, but the hot glue will not last, so you need to use something different. I'm also using a couple of little pieces of chipboard to go over the chenille stems, and then I'm going to cover the chipboard with hot glue just to keep it from breaking down. I found these microfiber cloths work really great at taking off the hot glue strings. Now we're going to let this dry and get back to making the wreath. I'm cutting the mesh at 20 inches long. I'm using tan chenille stems and I cut them in half. You want to slightly curl the mesh and then gather it in the middle, and then on the other end make sure it curls too, and you want it curled under. I'm attaching all the groupings of mesh on this 3rd row of the wreath form. It's 3rd from the outside or 2nd from the inside. After I attach the mesh, I try to make it into a circular shape, so just kind of pull on it until you get it looking like a circle. I'm alternating the patterns of each grouping. One grouping is a solid color and then a stripe and then a solid, and then the next grouping is going to be a solid color and then stripe, and then I'm also alternating using orange and green. Look at those colors. I think they are so pretty. I just love this green and orange together. That's supposed to be my fast forward into the future sound effect, showing that we are now to the last 2 groupings. I ended up with 14 groupings. It's a 14-inch wreath form. I used 4 full rolls and then 2 partial rolls. Now that our sign has had time to dry, it's ready to attach. I'm going to attach it right in the center. Always check it first and make sure that the sign is exactly where you want it before you start tightening it. And also make sure that the chenille stems are actually attached to the wreath form. If you want to know what makes me happy, finding Deco mesh flex tubing at the DollarTree makes me so happy because it is pretty expensive anywhere else. As you can see, I also found some jute tubing, which is rare at the DollarTree, but they don't give you very much. If you can see there in the picture, it's a lot less than the others, but I was still happy to find it. And of course they had this wonderful green color that I'm going to use. I didn't buy any ribbon. I just wasn't happy with any of the ribbons that they had left, but finding all this tubing made me so happy, and it'll give the wreath more texture and some more fun color. I'm taking my leftover chenille stems that were cut in half and cutting them in half again, because that's all I need is about a fourth of one. And I'm attaching it to the tubing first and twisting it and then attaching that to the wreath form, because I don't want the tubing to come loose. As you can see, I don't measure the amount of tubing I'm using for my loops or bows, but you can just hold it up to the one you already made and make it almost identical. I am attaching these between the mesh. You could attach them on top if you wanted them standing out more, but I just want the loops in between the mesh. Now I'm going to use the orange and gold together. These loops are measuring about 3.5 to 4 inches. Now I want to decorate this sign just a little bit. These pretty gold and orange sequin pumpkins were at the Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. To make this easy, I'm poking a hole with a pencil, then I'm going to put hot glue in that hole, and then the chenille stem will slide right into that hole. And just push it in as far as you can, let it dry, maybe add a little bit more hot glue to the outside. After it dries, push it through the wreath form and pull it as tight as you want it. I want it kind of sitting on top, so I'm not going to pull it very tight. And then just wrap that chenille stem through the wreath form. I think it needs a little natural element, so I'm going to add some raffia to the pumpkin sign. This is the only item I'm adding to the wreath that is not from the DollarTree or a dollar store. They may have it there. I'm not actually sure if they sell it or not. Perfect, that's just what it needed. And I'm going to go ahead and use this little piece of green tubing that I cut earlier for the bow and just add that to the raffia. Visit my Etsy shop at CraftyBug H. Cooper, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you'll get notifications on my uploads. Thanks so much.